We're joined by blogger extraordinaire for the Tories, Iain Dale, and frontbench spokesman, old friend of the Daily Politics, Alan Duncan. Good to see you both. I mean, let's be honest here, if we can in an age of it, you cannot do politics today without spin, can you?
Well, you've got to use communications and persuasion, but frankly, you can't use deceit in the way that Gordon Brown does. You know, he'd rather have a good headline than a properly working policy. And I think he's running out of tricks, and people can see this.
But what's deceit's a strong word. What do you mean by deceit?
Well, he announces lots of things and says, oh, it's great, I've got a headline, but it's not actually happening on the ground, whether it's the deep cleaning of hospitals, whether it's pulling troops out of Iraq. The fact is, it is government by propaganda, and I used half my speech on Monday trying to analyse this and explain it, and I find it thoroughly unpleasant, and I think increasingly so do voters.
And of course, the Tories would never stoop so low as to do anything like that.
Well, spin is in the DNA of a politician, just as
on both sides.
Just as exaggeration is in the DNA of a journalist. I mean,
you speak for yourself, mate. You're a blogger. You're not held to account.
Oh, don't you believe it? I mean, obviously all politicians spin, but I mean, you can call it presentation, you can call it spin. People want to present themselves in the best way possible, but in the end, the electorate smell a rat. If you exaggerate all the time, if you tell untruths, the electorate will find out. And we've seen this week, where I think the electorate wanted to give Gordon Brown a sort of fair crack of the whip. He said he was going to be different, the new politics, announcing things to Parliament first. And yet, what do we see this week?
You think this Baghdad Basra business is very bad?
I think, well,
he got saved in the papers this morning by Princess Diana's pictures.
We're in a bubble here. We don't sort of see exactly what's happening outside. But from what I understand, I mean, John Major's intervention has been really crucial. And John Major said all there is to say on this, and I think spoke for every Conservative.
John Major said all there is to say on this.
Some of us didn't think he had it in him, possibly.
You're cynical about Sir John.
In a dark room. Give me the smelling salts. Now, we understand you've laid out some policy. We finally got them. I've teased you many a time that you're a policy-free zone. We can't do that now. You've got them. Yep. But we understand that Mr. Cameron this afternoon isn't going to announce further new policies. He's going to put this spin on your policies.
Well, he's going to explain how they all fit in terms of us being far more optimistic than Labour. You know, we want a country of opportunity. We want to remove unease from people, where we have a very uneasy world, both domestically in terms of breakdowns and overseas.
You're turning around like a top here. This is spin. This is politicians' language.
I'm explaining in a very helpful, truthful way, and the difference is we tell the truth. And as I said in my speech,
tell the truth.
There's a great Orwell line that in an age of universal deceit, telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act.
This is the party told the truth that told us in the early 90s there was no alternative to the European exchange rate mechanism.
Well, I think what you've seen...
That was really truthful.
So it turned out, actually. Not the way we wanted, but it turned out to be true.
What you've seen, Andrew, this week is a great contrast to what happened in Bournemouth last week. All the presentations from the Shadow Cabinet have been really impressive this week. You compare that to the sort of love-in with Gordon that there was in Bournemouth. And I think the Tories have shown this week that they are a real alternative. There were a lot of doubters, I don't deny that, but I think this conference has gone better than any of them could have imagined.
So no spin this afternoon?
We'll explain, we'll persuade, we'll fight, we'll be decisive. And, you know, I think if Gordon Brown calls an election, he's going to come out of it weaker. If he doesn't, he's going to come out of it weaker.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was some authentic Tory spin. I can assure you there will be more this afternoon. Either that or a squadron of pigs will fly over the Winter Guard.